Eagles as we welcome the Lopes of Grand Canyon University here to take the face-off against the Eagles of Biola University.
Hello and welcome to Westview High School here in Rancho Bernardo, California for the matchup, the first of two semifinal matchups at the Division II level in the SLC tournament. This one pitting the Lopes of Grand Canyon University against the Biola Eagles. This is their second matchup this season. Lopes getting the better of the first matchup, a score of 22-6, but these are the games that count, and Biola's the 1 seed, so I'm pretty excited for the action here.
Yeah, I think, Biola, when we saw them against UCSD, they have some really impressive scorers, and specifically number 28, Jeff Clark. Definitely an impressive midfielder and somebody to watch today. And then on the Grand Canyon side of the ball, I mean, they got Carson Barton, who's got 65 goals. So somebody to watch out, number 24 on Grand Canyon and 28 on Biola. Make sure to check those out on the offensive side of the ball.
Here's Mountain. Biola looks to be in a zone, trying to make their opponent shoot from outside. And from what we've seen from the Biola goalie, is he's got some pretty good skill. And both teams traveling pretty well today. I mean, a lot of fans in the stands, and it's a great save by Lane. And right into the fast break. Here comes Foxworthy, using his pace to his advantage, able to get into the box and get into the Eagles' offensive set. Here's Kingston, another one of the players that to watch for the Eagles. Has a lot of goals this season, second on the team in scoring behind Clark. Here's Young, Morgan, and back down to Clark. And that's going to be a moving pick. The ball's going to go back to the Lopes. Trying to get a little bit of space from Hunter, the defenseman there, and he's a pretty talented player. Thinks about it. I mean, that's D. Donatus looking for the shot. And they're all over the ground balls right now. I mean, the Lopes sending everyone they've got. I mean, you'd have to think that they're used to this kind of heat, wearing their black jerseys. Probably close to 80 here today.
Yeah, beautiful day here in Rancho Bernardo. Beautiful weekend for the SLC Playoffs. Last night we had two great Division I games. And looks like we solidified that championship game for Division I between Chapman and Arizona State University. A repeat of the championship game last year.
Actually, I think it's the last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years, you're right.
Yeah.
Two historically big powerhouses in the MCLA. Two teams that have been in the national championship, actually.
Yeah, the last 4 years, one of those two teams. There's a great move inside, and there's Barton taking a shot, and that one just off the mark, but definitely showing how he can be dangerous.
And Barton's one of those Canadian players who, actually, I think we're going to see quite a few of today.
So a pretty good portion of Canadian players playing for Grand Canyon, left over from their Division II days, from last season, NCAA Division II. And there's Barton again. Moves to Barnes. There's Mason. Moves it quickly. Back up the... And there it is. Carson Barton showing why he's the top scorer on the team. Ripping the bounce shot. No chance there for Lane.
Yeah, that's a great fundamental high-to-low bouncer here on the turf. I mean, last night...
Canyon goal! Scored by number 24, Carson Barton.
Last night when we were on the natural turf on the graph, it's a little bit more unpredictable, but it's still a smart idea to bounce that right in front of the crease today on the turf.
Once again, the goal scored for Grand Canyon University by number 24, Carson Barton.
And with 11.5 minutes to go here in the first, the Lopes out to an early 1-goal lead behind the power of Barton. taking a little bit of time to get their offensive unit in through the box, or the Lopes. Here's Brandon Knudsen with the unassisted goal in the same spot. Just 20 more seconds, and that pushes the lead to 2. I mean, if they can't stop that sort of run down the alley, it's going to be a long day for the Eagles.
Goal scored by number 7, Brandon Knudsen. An unassisted goal.
Yeah, definitely an impressive
Once again, the Grand Canyon
unassisted goal there for Grand Canyon, just down the alley. And they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. I think, Biola's a team that they didn't have a problem with earlier in the season, and I think, that brings a lot of mental toughness.
And there's Trey Whistle winning the face-off to himself. I think they're going to get a crease violation here.
Loose ball pushed by Biola, possession Grand Canyon.
And I'm not sure I agree with that call. I mean, he was going straight for the crease that whole time, and not much of a push there. But the Lopes fortunate to maintain possession here with 10:57 to go in the first. Here's Mountain.
Mountain's a talented attackman out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Saw him against Fullerton. He's got a rip, so look for him to be shooting quite a bit.
There's a shot, another save by Lane on the shot from Cody Wagner. And Lane just walking it up. And we saw Lane make some really good saves against UCSD, albeit not the same level of competition, but definitely has the ability.
Yeah, and he's a talented goalie, but the Biola defense can't let them take those kind of shots inside. I mean, that's a pretty close, 8-yard shot right there, and it's going to be tough for him to be stopping those all day.
And there's Matt Young with the outside rip, just over the top. And Jeff Clark going to bring the ball in. Working on Rich Hunter, one of the Hunter brothers on the Lopes team. Brother playing in the cage. Kingston able to wrangle that one. Andrew, the goalie. And there's McMahon taking a shot. No problem there for Hunter.
And those Hunter brothers are, real talented. But we saw Cameron Cole, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, playing against Grand Canyon.
Clinic.
I mean, he was shredding.
Shredding.
It was unbelievable. I mean, he had one of the Hunters playing him on defense and the other one playing in goal. And I think he had 6 goals. 7 goals in that game. So
unbelievable.
I mean, you can get by them. They're just tough to get by.
Yeah. Here's Barnes. Blows by his man. Moves it to Mason. Instead of going to the cage there, it looked like he had a lane. Wanting to get into their offense. I mean, we saw a little bit of this yesterday, and there's the shot and solid defense. Able to get a stick in the lane there is Brogdon. Moving aside, and then there's Barton taking the look just off the mark, but fantastic opportunity.
And Barton looks a lot more offensively aggressive today than what I've seen in the past. I mean, against Fullerton, I don't think we saw him take this many shots.
And they're getting great looks. There's Mason just missing on the look from Mountain. And then Lane able to chase it out. And that's a huge hustle play for the Eagles. They need to get something going on offense here with 8:46 to go in the first. And please keep your questions, comments, anything you got for us. Let us know. Anything you want to say about the matchup or the players or fun facts or anything you want to know about us personally, feel free to fire away. Here comes Bogdan. Hanging his stick there. I mean, that's tough. I mean, his attackmen have got to do a better job of getting open for the defenseman.
Offside Biola, possession Grand Canyon.
It's going to be an offsides call anyway. So Rich Hunter going to start with the ball. Just on a rope there to Linford. And Linford over to Cody Wagner. Wagner gets it into the restraining box here with 8:12 to go. Finds Mountain. And back down to Mason. Moving the ball very confidently right now with the Lopes. Here's Barton to Keeson. And back to Barton. And that one just off the stick of Knudsen, but able to chase it down. And this looks almost like a different team than we saw in Temecula playing against Fullerton. A lot more aggressive offensively. Seemed like they came out pretty tentatively against Fullerton.
And that kind of offensive aggression is what they're going to have to do to win this SLC championship. I mean, if they get matched up against either Concordia or Fullerton, they're going to have to come out real hot.
Ball out of bounds, possession, Grand Canyon.
7.5 minutes to go. Looks like there was a tip on that pass, which made it go out of bounds. Here's Barton working on Sigley. Moves it to Wagner. Wagner looks like he might want to try and take advantage of the shorty matchup he has going against Foxworthy. Nice swim. Looking to feed all the way. And that's got to be a push in the back.
Loose ball push, Grand Canyon, possession Biola.
And Biola was really quick to double there. I mean, if they're that quick to double, you got to think Grand Canyon is just going to swing it 2 passes and see the backside. But, all in all, a nice defensive play by Biola, way to get the ball back for their team.
And a great clear there to Nordstrom by Lane. And high pressure D coming from the Lopes. Nowhere to go for the Eagles. He gets to Kingston. Moves it back down to Clark. And Clark has got to get something going for his team. Loses his footing. Turf Gremlin's out there. Hunter takes advantage all over his stick. Moves it to Linford. Linford slows it down. Here was 6:19 to go in the first. Still a 2-0 lead for the Lopes of Grand Canyon University. And that's a great pass to Rich Hunter. I mean, on a rope and using his size.
Big
trucked. Not messing around. Gets it to Mountain. And the fans love it.
And Rich Hunter on Jeff Clark, I mean, that's the matchup to watch all day. And right now, it looks like Rich Hunter is getting the best of that matchup.
Yeah, and Rich Hunter got the best of that last matchup right there on the clear, too.
He's a big boy. I mean, he's a carryover from the NCAA days, and he's got that size.
Yeah, it was 6'4", 240. I mean, he's just massive. Here's Barton. There's 5:30 to go in the first. To Knudsen. And wide open Barnes.
Chris, we got a question here that I think you could help us out with. Is Matt Young, number 2 on Biola, from Washington?
He is from the International School in Bellevue, Washington, in fact.
Yeah, that's true. So there's your answer. GNO Heels. And thanks for tuning in.
Going pretty aggressively on the double. And there's Donatus all by himself, and a huge save by Lane, getting big in the cage all day. I mean, so much pressure on the clear by the Lopes, causing a turnover there, and looking for the quick stick. And that's a pretty standard look, you'd think, if you've got some of these Canadian guys with such good sticks. And that one's out, looking for Donatus again. Mountain able to get in the mix there. Ball still down.
They got to be careful. Biola's got to be careful in a situation like that. It looks like they were able to recover that ball. But.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely can't give up any cheap goals. I mean, these guys are good enough as is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's 2-0 right now. I think Biola's doing a good job of, kind of containing this offense, but they just have to get on the board as soon as possible.
And the Lopes really pressuring hard on the ride. And Clark able to get the ball, and he's going to be able to get around Rich Hunter. Really showing a great burst of speed there. Moves it to Morgan. And the Eagles have been having a lot of trouble with the high-pressure ride. Here's Kingston. Kingston takes the rip. And Hunter saw that the whole way. No problem on the save here with 4 minutes to go.
And Kingston's got to put that, on a corner. And I'm not saying in a top corner, but I'm just saying he's got to put it either,
He's got to put it off hip, 5-hole,
somewhere.
or
Yeah, put it in a spot, I guess. Yeah. Put it in a spot. I mean, that one went straight at Hunter.
Yeah, and here's Keeson able to get the ball in. And they're not having any trouble at all on the clears. It's Wagner. it back to Barton. And, you know, as active as Barton has been, I mean, he really hasn't been like that big of a catalyst in the offense. I mean, he's getting free, and he's taking passes. I mean, that's why he has so many goals. And there's Barton taking the pass inside, and another great save by Lane. That one against Mason. Mason coming up a little gingerly.
And Lane doing a great job of keeping his team in this game right now. I mean, that's an easy look right there for Grand Canyon. They did a great job of shutting that down.
And that's a great play by Rich Hunter, able to kick it to himself. And they're going to get another push in the back right there. Keep the ball.
Flag is down.
All right. To get a correction on the pronunciation.
From Jordan Adams. Thanks, Jordan. If anybody else sees that we're pronouncing a name incorrectly, please chime in and please type to us, and we'll try and get that one right. And looks like Biola's going to go man up here with 2 minutes and 39 seconds left in the first quarter. Grand Canyon up 2-0.
Yeah, and it's really important that Lane's been making those saves. I mean, you look at the nightcap last night. Looks like a referee timeout here. Didn't start the clock. But last night in the game between Chapman and Arizona, there was Chapman scored at will. I mean, I didn't want to score this eight goals in the first quarter.
Push on number 20, Edmund Abbott.
At that point, I mean, you're pretty much so far out of the game.
A 30-second technical
It's tough to get back into
number
it.
20.
Yeah, and Chapman actually scored there on their first touch, which was pretty amazing last night.
Yeah, as the helmet low to high just rip.
And that's offsides right there for Biola.
Missed it.
I'm really surprised that wasn't called.
Yeah, that's fortunate.
Yeah, very fortunate for Biola. They get another opportunity here, man up. It's a 30-second man up, and they can't have mistakes like that in a 30-second man up possession.
Here's Young. Young takes the rip, and that's from way out.
You got to have a better possession there on man up. I mean, Young able to get a good shot, and that's got to be a
flag is down.
And that's going to be a trip, and that's a ward. you can't stiff arm people, but Andrew Hunter showing he can run with the big boys as well.
Timmy, 2-8 white.
Got a timeout.
Looks like we got a hold on 28. 30-second hold.
And ladies and gentlemen, everything you see tonight on YouTube is through the eyes of the official videographer of the Lacrosse Network, TVX Professional Video. TVX provides high-quality, reasonably priced services to individuals, businesses, and organizations.
The starting line.
By providing a quality product with impeccable customer service, TVX goals to grow their business one satisfied client at a time. Once again, that's TVX Video Services, official video production company of TLN.
An exciting atmosphere here in San Diego for the playoffs.
In the midfield, number 21, Kyle Mason. Already with 1 goal in the first quarter of play. On attack, number 24, Carson Barton. Long stick midfielder, number 25, Luciano De Dodanis. In the midfield, number 26, Tate Lindbergh. Defenseman, number 32, Richard Hunter. In the midfield, number 33, Fred Whistle. Defenseman, number 36, Brandon Murphy. And in goal for the Lokes of Grand Canyon University, number 23, Andrew Hunter. Ladies and gentlemen, the assistant coach for the Antelopes of Grand Canyon University is Remo Montalbano. And the head coach for the Lokes, Manny Rapkin. And ladies and gentlemen, after the first quarter of play, we'll introduce the starting lineup for the Eagles of Biola University.
And here with just a shade under 2 minutes to go, about to get back to the action getting our first look at the man-up unit from the Lopes.
Biola penalty. A 30-second technical for a hold on number 28, Adam Schubert.
And
Repeating the
Martori
Biola penalty. 30-second technical
stepping
hold
into the
on
game
number
for the
28,
first time on the
Adam
man-up.
Schubert.
Interesting, and that's a great look inside for Mountain. And that one just on the outside of the goal. Great positioning by Lane. Keep that one out, and they need to get a possession here and run out this penalty.
And that's a good look for Grand Canyon, absolutely. I mean, a nice man-up play, good look to Mountain. He's just got to come upfield a little bit.
And there's Clark trying to do it all himself. Can't get it. And you'd have to think that they're going to look for the matchup against Clark here.
Yeah, I mean, you see Clark is such a big part of this Biola team. I mean, he's an attackman that plays on the man-down unit. Have you ever seen something like that?
I've never seen anything like that.
And as I think you can hear here in the stadium, it's 1 minute left in the first quarter. And we're all even here, and you got to think they're going to want to go against Clark. I mean, I think that's the matchup they're going to want to exploit. Clark playing his matchup pretty tight, though.
And here's Keeson here with 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Still 2-0 Lopes. It's going to be a big opportunity for them to push some momentum going into the second quarter. And Keeson gets free, makes the look for Martori. Martori trying to get by, no love. Back up to Barton. 15 seconds left.
Stall warning called by the officials, so they have to keep it in the box here. See if they can get a shot off.
Barton, there's 5 seconds left.
Possession Biola.
The ball going to go back to Biola here with 5 seconds to go. They pretty much have to do a Gilman here, and that's what Lane does, just rips it. And that one sneaks through.
Yeah.
And we've seen some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, if you saw the top 10 from ESPN
And ladies and gentlemen, after one quarter of play, our score.
70-yard goal from Biola against Fairfield in the ACAC championship. So definitely pretty impressive stuff. And
yeah, I'm impressed with the level play coming from Biola. I mean, after getting beaten up on the way they did during the regular season, 2-0 is a pretty good place to be in going into the second quarter.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the starting line.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back.
The Eagles of Biola University.
Coming after that spot. Somebody pull one near side.
Yeah.
Get that Walters on him.
Look for the hedge. Yeah. Guys, good shots to go. Look for his hedge.
Here it is, Maxie.
I don't know yet.
Good shot.
That's moving.
Get him, G.
It's popcorn.
Look for the hedge.
Coming after that spot.
This is Jack Sandler from Skidmore College.
Hi, this is Dave Campbell from Middlebury College.
This is Coach Rannigan from Trinity Lacrosse.
Coach Kyle Benton from St. Lawrence University.
Chris Malone at Arizona State.
This is Sean McGonigal.
This is Coach Mike Allen.
Dallas Hartley.
You're watching.
And you're watching the Lacrosse Network.
Boom.
This is Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, the SLC Championship Weekend brings together the best men's club lacrosse in the West. And we'd like to thank all players, participants, coaches, volunteers, and you, our fans, for making this event possible.
And just about ready to get back to the action here. Again, 2-0 in favor of the Grand Canyon Lopes in this 1 versus 3 matchup.
1 versus 1 matchup. Biola is actually the 1 seed from the West. And yeah, I mean, definitely. What do you think about the score so far, Chris? I mean, did you expect this low scoring of a first quarter?
You know, I didn't actually know what to expect exactly. I figured that it would be a pretty close game to start. But I thought that Biola would be able to get on the board with the players that they have on attack. So I'm surprised that they were shut out. I'm not surprised that the score is so low, but I'm definitely surprised they got shut out. Here's Barton.
And it looks like Biola's operating out of a zone. I know you're a little bit more of a defensive guy, Chris, but...
Yeah, I mean, they started in the zone and gave up those 2 quick goals, and there's Barton again. I mean, you absolutely cannot let him turn the corner like that if you're in that low zone. And he's able to pick that corner and beat Lane, no problem, pushing the score to 3-0, just less than a minute into the second quarter.
Definitely an impressive goal by Barton. That kind of offensive aggression is just not something we saw last time we saw Grand Canyon. I mean, I'm impressed with the way Carson Barton's been playing today.
Yeah, and I mean, that zone only works if
Once again, the Grand Canyon
stop him from getting to the corner. I mean, that one's on the defenseman 100%. You cannot let him take the corner there. I mean, you have to push him down towards X, and that's a push. I'm surprised he didn't get that call. And there were 13:51 to go.
Grand Canyon playing fairly physically today. I mean, they definitely are looking like
a team that's played in
NCAA like a team that has played big-time lacrosse before. Nice play there. Is that Mountain?
No, it's a real heads-up play. I mean, I think that's coming from Wagner.
And another goal from Matt Mountain, just as we're talking about him. So Grand Canyon's really pouring it on right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Biola called a timeout right now. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Grand Canyon goal scored by number 3, Matt Mountain. Assist to the goal by number 24, Carson Barton. Once again, the goal scored for Grand Canyon University by number 3, Matt Mountain.
Yeah, and I mean, the play so far has been really good leading into this second quarter. But Biola with a letdown coming into the quarter, and Grand Canyon with that physical play, not letting them breathe at all.
Lacrosse application on the market.
I mean, this is
with only 200 teams and 6,000 active players, the MCLA is represented by the biggest universities in the United States, from Boston College to San Diego State, Florida State to the University of Oregon. With the MCLA iPhone app, you can stay up to date with the latest headlines and news from around the league, including scores, standing stats, and players from around the MCLA. The MCLA iPhone app. Download it now at www.mcla.us.
Absolutely. I mean, we've said it once. We'll say it again. I mean, you got to rely on your best players in big games. And Clark out there playing hard. And he needs to make something happen. Should be there by Foxworthy. And this is a good start coming out of the timeout. To McMahon. And over to Morgan. And back down to Kingston. Here with 13 minutes to go. Biola has got to get something going on offense. Nice stick by Kingston. Moves to Clark inside. Here's the shot. And that one just off the mark for Young.
Biola holds possession following the shot.
Here's Kingston. Mahan down to Morgan and back to Kingston. Here with 12:30 to play in the first half. Kingston working on Brandon Murphy. And they're have a pretty sizable advantage on the defensive end. Just much bigger players. And Jeff with the low to low. And Hunter again with the big save.
Yeah, a nice look over there. I mean, able to get that pass through.
Loose ball push Biola. Possession.
Able to get that pass through all the way through the Grand Canyon defense, but Jeff Clark just not able to finish. I mean, I think they have to change planes there. Jeff launched a low to low, and I think he's got to go low to high or high to low on a goalie like Hunter. He can't just stay in the same plane.
Well, I think that's why Cameron Cole had so much success because he's the quick release. They'll run that double pick, and he'll come off the defender, and the ball will be there before you even know what happened. And I mean, I think they really need to shoot off the hips of their defenders and try and force Hunter to make some saves, because a lot of these shots have been right at him. Decent looks, but nothing going in yet for the Eagles. And Lane picks it up, walking up looking for a pass. There's a great handle from Moransky, able to get in, like a full line change for both teams. Here's Nordstrom.
And just about 11 minutes left here in the half. Just a reminder that right after this game, we do have the second game of Division II semifinal action here for the SLC playoffs. We got Concordia taking on Fullerton. Should be a great matchup.
And pretty sloppy passing going on right now for Biola. And they definitely can't afford to have any unforced errors on the offensive end. Just Foxworthy. Looking for Clark. Can't quite come up with it. You were 10:30 to go. Lopes get the ball back.
You got to value possession in a playoff game like this.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean that's tough for them.
Gets the ball down to Schubert. And still in that zone.
I think they're putting a lot of trust into their goalie, Sean Lane, who has shown that he can make those big-time saves. But if they let them in a little bit too tight, they're going to start putting those in.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the zone. I mean, they're way out there, especially on the top. I mean, if you're trusting your goalie to make those saves from 10, 12 yards out, you probably shouldn't be pressuring that far out in the zone, because then that pulls the back half of the zone with the poles up too far, and that's how they can that's how they can get to the corner there.
Yeah, and when you have attackmen like Barton and like Matt Mountain, I mean, you always gotta keep a close look at those guys.
And again, looking for that feed from X coming across with the cutter, and they've had pretty good success with that. Haven't been able to capitalize on it yet, but they're definitely coming close. And again, looking across, here's Mountain with the low-to-low, and that went off the stick of what looked to be Moransky there.
And it looked like Matt Mountain there just thought about that shot for a little bit too long. He's got to catch that one and release it immediately.
Schubert moves it to Wagner, and up to Barton and over to Keeson. I mean, moving the ball very quickly. There's the look inside, and there's a great stick, and almost another goal for Knudsen.
Following the shot.
But I mean, it didn't even look like he thought that one was coming to him, and able to get his stick up and catch that and take the quick shot. I mean, had that one been on the cage, it would have been extremely difficult for Lane to stop. And with 8:30 to go, it's still a 4-goal lead. After the two goals in the first 90 seconds, and there's Barton getting in there, and he's going to get a push in the back there. No possession, so it's just going to maintain possession there for the Lopes, but he's all over the place right now. Barton is.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw right there, Grand Canyon tried to dodge through the zone. And there's a goal from Barton.
And that one just sneaks by Lane. I mean, he's able to get a stick on it, and then it just creeps into the goal. I mean, that's really frustrating for a goalie, but a great shot and a great move from Barton.
Scored by number 24, Carson Barton.
And I mean, I think that's really the problem, at least what I'm noticing in the zone, is over-committing. I mean, that's the purpose of the zone.
Again,
I mean, you pack it in,
assisted by number 24, Carson Barton. His third goal.
Let your goalie make the saves from outside. And I mean, a team that's really good at that, not necessarily even in the zone, but in the way that they play defense, is Arizona State. I mean, if you watch the way they play, they're in very tight, and they're that way. When a player comes into the alley, they're all over them immediately. And they have the trust in their senior goalie, Dylan Westfall, with good reason. He's an excellent goalie. But you can't push out that far.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arizona State, a team we're going to see tomorrow at 2:30 Pacific time against Chapman. That's going to be a game to watch for the Division I championship game. And Chuck and Cluck checking in again today. Glad you're joining us again. I know you joined us last night too for the games. And if you got any scores from around the lacrosse world, I know you're just talking about the Hopkins Army game right now, please feel free to share them and start a conversation about those.
Here's Schubert looking inside, finds Barton. Up to Mountain. Mountain looking inside. And is that Desco?
Yeah.
Out there with between the legs. There's Knudsen. Gonna need to get a little more juice on that one before he makes the TLN top 10.
Yeah, that was very reminiscent of Timmy Desco and some of the stuff he's been able to do all season and all his whole career, actually.
And that's just something that's exciting for me because you know that you know where he saw that,
right?
Is on ESPN, and that means that people are watching lacrosse on TV. So I mean that's exciting stuff for everyone.
It's great to see. I mean, I definitely tried to emulate a lot of stuff that I saw Mikey Powell do, and failed at doing that. But I mean, that's where you learn everything.
I mean, I'd like to think that Mikey Powell learned that front flip dodge from me. So I mean, it depends on who you ask. I mean, we didn't have YouTube really back then, so it's
nice play by Kingston right there.
It's tough to say who really started it.
The slide came really well and right on time there for Kingston. Just not able to fully get the shot off. But if that slide's going to come like that, somebody's got to present themselves and be open. They got to be yelling double, 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 and they got to put their stick up and give Kingston a target. And
here's Schubert with 6 minutes to go in the half, up to Barton. And back to Holland making his first appearance of the game. And Holland is a guy that we've seen who's got some serious pace.
Definitely. And I think we've seen him take up some face-offs as well.
Yes.
And definitely a powerful, athletic face-off midi.
There's Keeson. Back up to Mason and into Barton. Here comes Schubert with the fake. Past Barton. There's Keeson again. Fake takes the shot. And that one just off the mark. And with 5:30 to go, still 5-0 in favor of Grand Canyon. And please keep the questions, comments, anything you got coming. We love to hear from you. Anything you want to know about the teams, the matchup, or even future games. Feel free to ask anything about Samir that you'd like to know.
Please.
He's full of fun facts and skeletons. So.
Yeah, anything you guys want to know about the future of the Lacrosse Network and what else we're doing this year? I mean, make sure to stay tuned throughout the summer for the LXM Pro events. June 2nd, a big one at Orange Coast College.
There's Barton with the cross crease pass, looking for Mountain. Mountain can't quite get a stick on it. Pretty ambitious pass, but it was there. So Biola able to get possession, and then Lane all the way across the field finds McMahon, and he's got a little bit of space. Finally down to Kingston, just under 5 minutes to go. Back to Kingston. Here's Morgan. Mahan, and then
flag is down.
In a burden. 3, 6, black, /1.
Yeah, sorry. It looks like it's going to be a slash for a 1 minute penalty, and this is a great opportunity for Biola to get on the board. Down 5-0 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first half. They have to get on the board now.
Number 36, Brandon.
They absolutely cannot get shut out.
Repeating the Grand Canyon penalty.
I mean, that sort of thing.
A 1 minute personal slash on number 36, Brandon.
It's too hard, especially for some of the young players, to come out in the second half with having been shut out in the first half. I mean, they need to score a goal here or sometime soon.
And they're operating out of a 2-3-1 here with Kingston at X. He's going to look to be the feeder. Looks like they're switching right now. Looks like they're going to be working on a wheel, moving upfield. There it is.
And that's a nice handle by Young, and Young with the fantastic goal, diving, drawing the flag. Young making it look easy out there. That's a fantastic goal.
That's a huge momentum goal for Biola. I mean, definitely really exciting goal. The fans are pretty excited about it.
Scored by number 2, Matt Young.
Yeah, and that's the kind of momentum goal that you absolutely have to have.
Once
I mean,
again,
that's the perfect goal for a situation like that.
Number 2, Matt Young.
You go on in the diving across the crease, score a great goal in the man of opportunity, draw another flag. Out there making things happen is Matt Young, the freshman.
And for a freshman to come out and do that, that's got to pump up the whole team. It's got to pump up your seniors, and I think they're going to have, something to work with coming out of the half.
Ball's still down. Finally picked up by Grand Canyon.
You got somebody on the backside.
Crease. Yeah, and that's Abbott. And one of the LSMs who was wide open on the crease.
And a quick shout out I got to give. My mom is actually watching, so Mom, thanks for watching the game, and hope you're enjoying the commentary.
And here's Martori. Backing in, can't find Mountain. That one just a little off the mark.
Possession, Biola.
And maybe it's just me, but they look like they might be a little frazzled after that goal, throwing the ball away, missing the close-in shot by Abbott, drawing the flag. So they'll have an opportunity.
7 white has some necessary roughness. 1 minute. 7 white. Interference with possession. 30 seconds. He's serving them both. 1:30. Careful, buddy.
And looks like we got a minute and 30 of penalties here on number 7 for Biola, and that's Justin Harrington. He's going to be serving 2 penalties. One of them is a 1 minute unnecessary roughness penalty, and the other one's a 30-second interference penalty. So
sorting out the penalties, we have
Grand
2 penalties assessed to Biola player number 7, Justin Harrington. The first, a 1 minute personal for unnecessary roughness. Once again, first penalty, a 1 minute personal for unnecessary roughness. Second penalty, a 30-second technical for interference. Repeating the second penalty, a 30-second technical for interference. Man down situation, 1 minute and 30 seconds.
And Matt Mountain's going to come in with the ball at X, and they're going to have a lot of time to score that goal right there.
And they didn't need very much as Kyle Mason scores the goal 2 seconds into the restart, and wide open on the backside there. I mean, that's just a defensive breakdown from Biola. I mean, Lane was there, and he snuck it in top shelf.
And that's one thing that, those 2 penalties, unnecessary roughness and interference, those are penalties that you just can't get if you're Biola. If you're down by 5 goals, you just can't be committing those kind of penalties and giving Grand Canyon those kind of opportunities.
Yeah, and here's Martori coming in, takes the shot. That's a good effort. Eaten up by Lane. Lane coming through.
Once again, the Grand Canyon goal.
Finding Harrington. Harrington with a sick stick there. But forced out of bounds by the Oaks.
Possession, Grand Canyon.
And with 2:47 to go in the first half, it's 6-0 in favor of Grand Canyon.
Definitely impressed with Sean Lane today, though. I mean, his ability to stay big in the cage and use his body to his advantage has impressed me, and he's really keeping his team in this game.
Yeah, and I mean the goalies have to have a short memory span. I mean, because he's let in a couple, just barely getting his stick on that one. Is Hunter had a couple that have just snuck in off his stick or off his thigh, and those are always super frustrating. So I mean, standing tall in the cage and still playing well is the senior out of San Luis Obispo.
And a huge opportunity there for Grand Canyon. Just a miscue on the catch there. It looks like they're gonna get that ball back. That's another one of those unforced errors that they can't make on the Biola side.
Here's Barton looking across. Can't connect with Mason,
Ball
but they are all over the Eagles right now. There were 2:15 to go in the first half.
And Grand Canyon is getting their looks, but if they want to win the championship game tomorrow, they have to be connecting on all those looks. They have to capitalize on all of those opportunities.
Yeah, and because I mean, whoever comes out of that Concordia Fullerton game is going to be ready to go.
Both those teams are very talented. I mean, you saw Josh Fagan and his big performance against Fullerton a couple weeks ago, and then Cameron Cole with, 106 points on the season? 116 points on the season. I mean, he's got to be the player of the year for Division II.
Yeah, I mean, he is playing out of his mind. I mean, for a freshman. I mean, his brother's no slouch either. I think he's got 88. Really impressive play from both of those players. And here with 1:40 to go in the first half, Kingston thinks about the shot, pulls it back out, and some pretty serious lumber there coming from Brandon Murphy. And draws the flag. And then a nice stick, able to get that one back, and he's got to stay in the box. Draws a double, finds Young. Young takes the rip. And that one from pretty far outside, but a lot of zip on it. And Biola's going to get a chance to go man up here with 1:21 to go in the first half.
And Matt Young, definitely a really impressive young player here in the SLC. There's a lot of them, but really impressive. And just to address a couple of comments out here, Z-Nam Skier, what's the field like out there? It's a beautiful turf field out here at Westview High School in Rancho Bernardo. Great day, and the field's really nice stadium. And Ian Doherty, who do you guys pick for this game? Chris?
I mean, it's hard to pick against Grand Canyon right now. I mean, they're looking very tough and right on the doorstep. But, I mean, Biola's got a little bit bigger team, and if they can score a goal here and take some momentum going into the second half, it's still anyone's game. I mean, lacrosse is a game of runs, and whoever goes on the last run usually wins.
Yeah, and I think right now what I'm seeing out of Biola, they're just making a lot of unforced errors, missed catches, missed clears. So they got to cut those in the second half for us to have a different pick right now. Under 1 minute left, actually 30 seconds left in the game. In the half, sorry, not in the game.
I was looking for Clark there on the crease. Can't quite get him.
Interference, Grand Canyon, possession, Biola.
Looks like going to get an interference call going against Grand Canyon. And with 20 seconds to go. Big opportunity. There's Clark taking a rip, and that one just off the mark, but backed up.
Biola maintains possession following the
by
shot.
Morgan. And here's 17 seconds left. There's get inside, and there's a great look and a great goal by Gamelson. Making his first appearance, the junior out of San Diego, playing in front of the home crowd and capitalizing with 12.5 seconds to go to push the lead back to 4.
Absolutely. Very impressive goal there from Biola. Just a great look inside and a nice finish.
Goal! Scored by number 16, Scott Gamelson.
And with 12.5 seconds left to go,
Assist to the goal by number 30,
a 6-2 game, this is a lot different game than a 6-1 game.
Absolutely.
Going into half.
And especially scoring a good goal like that going into the half.
Man advantage by number 16.
Gamelson, actually a Westview alum, so playing on his home field, must be feeling comfortable.
3 seconds left.
1 second, and that's just about going to do it. And that's a huge goal for Biola.
And ladies and gentlemen, after 2 quarters of play, our score.
And I'm Chris Marshall here with Samir Chowdhury, so definitely stay tuned for a second half of great lacrosse action here between Biola and Grand Canyon. We'll be right back.
And ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that looked good. There we go. Oh. Oh, what? That's a deep one.
Just feeling it now.
Oh, you need to get in the rhythm.
This is Jack Sandler from Skidmore College.
Hi, this is Dave Campbell from Middlebury College.
This is Coach Rannigan from Trinity Lacrosse.
Coach Kyle Benton from St. Lawrence University.
Chris Malone at Arizona State.
This is Sean McGonigal.
This is Coach Mike Allen.
Dallas Hartley. You're watching.
And you're watching the Lacrosse Network.
Boom.
Hey guys, it's Greg from East Coast Eyes, and I'm going to talk to you about stringing a low pocket. So a low pocket, like the one I have here, is where the pocket sits below the middle of the head. So it's going to be down in this this bottom third of the head. So when you cradle, the ball will sit all the way down low. Now there's a couple advantages to stringing a low pocket. And the one is when you go to cradle one-handed, the ball is going to shift all the way down and sit down in the bottom of the throat of the head where the head's narrowest. So this is going to give you the most hold and the least chance of losing the ball when you're cradling one-handed and you take a check. Also, a low pocket generally will have less whip than a low pocket. So you're going to have a really smooth release with very little whip, so you're not going to have to worry about winging the ball over the field and having it throw right in the ground. So you can see a low pocket will generally have a very smooth, very crisp transition throughout the head, so it's not going to catch or anything or whip straight out. But there's also a couple disadvantages of low pockets. And one is they have a very, very long release. Since when you throw the ball, it has to come from all the way down here and get all the way out. When you throw it, it's going to take a lot longer to get out than a high pocket would, where it would just flick right out of the stick. So this could be a disadvantage for attackmen when they're cradling and they want to really quickly make a quick feed. It's going to take longer to get the ball out of the stick. Also, like I said, as an advantage, low pockets generally have lower whip, but some players want more whip, so it's very hard to put more whip into a low pocket. So the most common position for a low pocket to be used is attack, because they're the position that spend the most time with the stick in one hand, running across X, carrying the ball, changing directions. So since they spend the most time in one hand, you're going to want a pocket that's going to hug the ball when you're cradling one-handed and let the ball drop all the way down. So it's perfect for attackmen. But like I said, it also has a slower release. So an attackman won't be able to get the ball out very quickly, or when they come out of their dodge, they won't be able to shoot it quite as quickly. So one thing you can do with a lower pocket to create a quicker release is move your shooting strings down in the stick. So instead of having them all the way up at the top, you would maybe start a little bit lower and have a V or another straight somewhere down in this area of the stick. And that's going to make the ball come off those shooting strings much earlier, so it'll add a quicker release while still maintaining a low pocket. Now another thing people like to do to have a low pocket but also have that high pocket release is an Iroquois top string. And so this is a situation where the mesh starts all the way down here, and the top part, it has a very long top string that comes down to meet the mesh somewhere in the top of the head. So the mesh would be attached to the scoop via a very long top string, and that would make the ball release where the mesh stops. So since the mesh is stopping down here, the ball will release down here. So the pocket's still low, but it's still going to have a release point somewhere higher in the head, so it releases a little bit quicker. To add whip, also moving the shooting strings down in the head will add a little bit of whip for attackmen if they like more whip in their stick, and also more hold. For defensemen, low pockets are more whip so that they can have really, crank the ball for those long passes and those crossfield passes. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend a low pocket for defensemen. I would recommend a mid pocket. But if you were going to have one as a defenseman, I would suggest the same thing as attackmen, in that you put the shooting strings a little bit lower and maybe make the pocket shift up a little bit more for when you cradle and you want to make that long pass. Midfielders, it's a little bit more common for midfielders to have a low pocket, because when they dodge, they have it right here in the box and they'll do a split dodge, and it's going to be upright a lot of the time. But when you're running down the alley and you're taking a big outside shot or a big alley shot, you are going to want some whip. So I would suggest that a midfielder that wants to use a low pocket have one that's a little bit baggier, so when they go to take that cradle right before they take a big shot down the alley, the ball will shift up in the stick to right under their shooting strings and catch there a little bit, so they can untwist their body and unload the shot, and it'll shift up a little bit. But while they're cradling, the pocket can shift down, and they'll be able to cradle one-handed and have the ball really have nice hold. So that's how you would use a low pocket for each position. Just a couple of tips when you're stringing low pocket. Generally, you're going to want to interlock a little further down the head than you would when you were stringing a mid pocket. So you can interlock almost down to a little bit less than the halfway point, maybe 2/3 of the way down the head. Then you want to have a couple double ups and a few singles. So you want to interlock the mesh tightly down to halfway down the head, and then bunch the mesh up a little bit so to create that pocket. For the bottom string, you want to make sure you don't have a really long bottom string, and that your bottom string isn't what's creating your low pocket. because if it is, then it'll create inconsistencies. So you can see here the bottom string on this stick is very tight, and what creates the pocket are these mesh holes that are bunched up on the side. So that's very important. So you can see the difference between a low pocket and a mid pocket in these two heads. This one over here is a pocket with pretty much in the middle of the head. You can see this one sits much lower. So that's how you want to string your low pocket, and depending on which position you play or how much whip you like or how quick you like your release, you may want to adjust it a little bit. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Lacrosse Network for live streams, broadcasts, coverage on all kinds of lacrosse and highlights, and make sure to check out my channel, East Coast Eyes. Thanks for watching.
Here we go, Nick on me, Nick on 3, 1, 2, 3.
I'm Matt Holman. I'm the head coach at San Diego State University. Right away. I run tournaments in the off season, and I do a tournament out in Palm Springs. And Nick was a participant in one of the teams, and I'd sent a thank you letter to all the team participants. And his mom wrote me back and told me a little bit about his story, and it just kind of caught my heart, kind of pulled at the heartstrings. And you know, I thought of some ways to get him involved here with the team, and it just kind of spawned into making him the honorary captain this year. So.
On behalf of the team, we wanted to ask you if you'd be willing to be our honorary captain this year. We got you a shirt, and we got Captain Nick on the back, and we all signed it for you.
It's such an honor. I mean, to even watch them play, they're extremely good, and I would give anything to be as good as them.
Nick has been playing lacrosse for the last 2 years, but it was his dream for more like 3 years, and Nick has
most of my life.
Most of his life. Nick has a liver disease called biliary atresia, and it's really unheard of for kids to be playing contact sports when you have liver disease. His whole life he's been playing, but he's never had a passion like lacrosse, and I think lacrosse has really given him something to live for every day.
I am waiting for a liver transplant so I cannot be an attackman, because if I got hit in the stomach, yeah, that would be good. My favorite part about lacrosse right now, since I'm defense, is probably getting to deck people. when I'm an attackman, probably shooting and faking. It's just gonna make it so much more fun to play lacrosse once I get a liver transplant, but it's still so much fun now. So as far as lacrosse goes, other than defense and tactics.
And welcome back to the action here. And just a reminder that everything you see today on YouTube is through the eyes of the official videographer of the Lacrosse Network. That's TVX Professional Video. And right back to the action here. There's Martori able to pick up the ground ball there. And again, an errant pass for Grand Canyon.
Possession, Biola.
And a little bit of an unexpected amount of unforced errors for the Lopes.
Sean Lane coming up with the ball. I mean, definitely impressed with Sean Lane. This game would be, you know, a lot bigger of a goal differential if it wasn't for Sean Lane's exceptional play in the first half.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And there's Matt Mountain, and interestingly enough, I'm sure you guys have heard us talk about TVX Video, who's the official videographer here at TLN. Ted Benderick from TVX actually created a recruiting tape for Matt Mountain. And looks like Matt's doing just fine now, playing at Grand Canyon. So
I'd have to attribute that 100% to Ted's shooting ability.
Absolutely. I mean, Ted can make you look good. So you want a recruiting tape? You want to go play college lacrosse? Make sure to check out tvxvideo.com.
Yeah, we're not nearly as good looking off camera. And here with 13:49 to go, and there's a great look inside. And Barton making it look easy, just tiptoeing along that crease and finding the open part of the net.
And I'm really impressed with Barton today. I mean, I knew I'd heard a lot about Carson Barton, but I hadn't seen him play this way yet this year.
Canyon
And I'm impressed that he came like this in the playoffs.
Scored by number 24, Carson Barton.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if he was sick or something.
And unassisted goal.
Against Fullerton, because he was pretty much non-existent in that game. And
Once again, the Grand Canyon goal scored
pretty much
unassisted by
taken
number
over this
24,
game.
Carson Barton, his 4th goal of the game.
And that's going to be a hold going against Chris Holland as the ball
hold Grand Canyon
goes to the
possession
Eagles.
Biola.
And there's Williams bringing it up. Finds Morgan.
And to answer the question about where this game's being played, the SLC tournament this year is in San Diego, California. It's at Westview High School, so if you're in the area, make sure to come by. They've got another game today at 4 o'clock and 2 games tomorrow, championship games at 12 and 2:30.
As well as league president Matt Holman grilling up some delicious hamburgers.
That's true. Matt Holman burgers, those are good. So
oh, man.
Can't get them anywhere else.
They smell great. I'd love to have one right now. So, Matt, if you're listening. And there's coming inside, no space there for McMahon.
Flag is down.
Drawing the flag, and Biola's had pretty good success on their man-up opportunities. And with 13 minutes to go,
there is no flag.
they can cut
Ball
the
was
lead
loose.
back to
Push.
4. They'd be
Gonna
in
go
good
bite.
shape.
And from what we heard there from the ref, looks like there's no flag. Flag's waved off, and the ball's going to go back to white.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The penalty was waived. Loose ball push on Grand Canyon. Possession by
Clark. If you're just joining us, it's 12:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's 7-2 lead for the Lopes of Grand Canyon, and that's a good look. I mean, you get Kingston cutting around the corner, and that's exactly what we talked about in the first half. I mean, taking those shots right off your defender's hip, and making it more difficult for Hunter to see it.
And if Kingston's going to be dodging like that aggressively to the cage, I'd like to see the rest of his teammates moving around and getting open when the slide comes. I mean, all 6 guys on the offense have to be working towards scoring that 1 goal.
And again, please, if you're watching, take the time to subscribe, as well as comment. Send us your questions, thoughts, feedback, anything you got. We're saying your kid's name wrong, let us know. We'd love the feedback. We want to make this the best broadcast we could possibly can. So please let us know what you think. And here with 12 minutes to go in the 3rd, Kingston coming across. And, I mean, that's tough defense from Murphy.
I'm amazed that Kingston able to keep that ball on the stick. I mean, I think, again,
flag is down.
Looks like we got a flag down.
I mean, that's got to be a cross check.
You got 2 tries at that, man. He got 2 tries at that hold. 3, 6, hold, 30 seconds.
And it looks like we got a hold on number 36 here from Grand Canyon. It's a 30-second penalty.
Grand Canyon penalty. A 30-second technical for a hold on number 36, Brandon Murphy.
And
repeating the Grand Canyon
Biola
penalty,
gets
a
another
30-second
opportunity
technical for a
here to
hold.
go man up.
Number 36,
something that
Brandon
they've been
Murphy.
pretty successful with.
And I don't understand that pass. I mean, if he has the room to send a pass like that, and that one's going to be a high hit. And then they need the trainer here.
3-2, 3-2.
We saw a similar situation in our last game. I hope he's okay. But
Go. Got it.
See what the official has to say.
Black, 3-2. Illegal body check, targeting the head, 2 minutes, non-releasable.
And that's a big penalty there. It looks like it's a 2-minute non-releasable for targeting the head. And as the trainers tend to this injury, we'll be right back.
And that's nice to see. McMahon able to walk off under his own power. Looks like he might have just got his bell rung a little bit. Similar to the situation with AJ Raptor last night in the Chapman game.
Grand Canyon penalty. A 2-minute non-releasable for an illegal body check to the head.
Takes one to the head, is able to walk off, so it looks like he's going to be
Grand Canyon penalty, a 2-minute non-releasable.
After talking to
head
coach Dallas Hartley from Chapman University yesterday, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing AJ Raptor in the championship game against Arizona State tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean it's always better safe than sorry in those situations, especially with the with the head. I mean you can't be too careful. There's two-man up opportunity. There's Kingston with the shot, the low to low, and Hunter able to get it right into the fast break. Great stick by Abbott, and Abbott's off to the races with 11:13 to go. You have to think that he's going to try and get it to one of the shorties. Gets to Mountain. Mountain working on Brogdon, and they're still a man down here for at least another 30 seconds. Get it to Barton.
Yeah, at least another 30 seconds. It was a 2-minute penalty, and it was non-releasable, so they got quite some time here.
And that's a great split. I mean, Biola has to do a better job of doubling the ball heel and getting the ball back. If the Lopes are able to kill this 2-minute penalty, that'll be huge. I mean, it's a 2-minute unreleasable is about as good an opportunity as Biola's going to get to get back in this game. And here's Mountain. Back up to Barton. And just in a really wide set. Ball down, and that one skips the lane. Lane gets to Harrington. Harrington cross field to Brogdon. And Brogdon up to Moransky, and Moransky able to get back into the offensive side here with 9:50 to go in the third. Gets to Kingston. And there's Nordstrom.
And Josh Nordstrom, another one of those players that got a recruiting tape from TVX Video Services and playing in college. So I'm kind of seeing a pattern here, Chris. You need that recruiting video if you want to play in college. So make sure to check out tvxvideo.com.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to have Ted put something together for me for the MLL for this upcoming season.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to send it over to the LXM guys. I know that they're getting their jerseys made up right now. They look really great, but I'm just waiting for the one with my name on the back of it. So I might need Ted to come out and just film me hitting the wall or something.
Yeah, we'll just go out and shred at halftime of the next game, and
maybe we'll go on live there. Yeah.
Sure thing, Coach Chadrick.
And there's Jeff Clark. You know, we got to see these seniors for Biola step up right now. I mean, it's a 7-2 game with 9 minutes left in the third. The game's not out of reach for Biola.
And there's the shot, and that one off the stick. It might have been high, but Hunter's still tracking it very well.
Following the shot.
Clark with the backup looking for Kingston. And, I mean, there's still plenty of time in this game. I mean, if they can rattle off a couple goals, they'll be in pretty good shape. And there's Moransky down the lane, and that one just off the mark, looking stick side high. I mean, he's got to try and find the off-stick corner on that one.
He's got to put that low. He's got to bounce it. He's got to do something to get by Hunter.
There's Foxworthy down to Morgan. Morgan looking for Kingston. Looks like a little bit of a miscommunication there. And that's one thing that Grand Canyon's been doing a really good job of is picking up the ground balls and going right into the fast break, taking a quick shot. I mean, they can be very dangerous.
Maintains possession following the shot
in the fast break situation. And hear a horn there. Get the offensive and defensive units on for the respective teams. With 8:24 to go, still a 5-goal lead for the Lopes. And aside from a 2-goal outburst right in the first minute of the third quarter, Biola doing a pretty good job of tightening up on the defensive side. And there's fakes on fakes, and that one sneaks in. Again, it's just a little bit of a defensive breakdown.
Yeah,
that looked like Mason came up and scored the goal there.
That's one of the downfalls of having a zone. I mean, they were too sucked in on the backside, and Mountain just saw the opening and was able to go right through it. I mean, if you're Biola there, you gotta extend on the backside and understand that Mountain's still there and he can score easily.
Yeah, and I mean that goes back to the success that Grand Canyon has had feeding from X. I mean, they have to respect the fact that they can feed from X, and now they're able to get some space for themselves there. And those are good checks. I mean, really all over Mountain there is on. Here's 7:45 to go. Back to Mountain. The pass to Knudsen, roller. Back to Mountain. And Mason. 7:30 to go in the third. And they're so quick. Here's Mountain. The low to high. And
oh, man.
I hope that one hit somebody because
Grand Canyon holds possession following the shot.
That one almost went through the uprights.
It was a lefty low to high. And definitely doesn't seem like Mountain's normal shot. So a little out of his element on that one.
And there's Barton again, just making it look easy. It's that little head fake he's got, and then he's through two guys in low stick side. There's nothing Lane can do about that.
And Barton, I think you'll see, I mean, a Canadian player, traditionally an indoor box player, he keeps the stick in his right hand the whole time. I mean, he face dodges there for a second, stick goes right to right, it doesn't leave his right hand, and he's able to bury it there. I mean, that's what you get with a Canadian player who's trained in box.
Scored unassisted by number 24, Carson Barton, his 5th goal of the game.
Here's Holland and Williams going at it. Here's Williams able to come up with the ground ball.
It's really interesting to see all the Canadian talent that comes out and plays, especially here in the SLC. You have Simon Fraser, who plays in the PNCLL, who's a team based out of Canada. But it's interesting to see a lot of guys coming out to California from Canada and playing in the MCLA.
Yeah, in the MCLA, an international collegiate lacrosse league, the only one of its kind.
And speaking of international, I mean, we saw last night with Watanabe on Chapman, a couple international players, big collision there.
That's going to be a push going against the Lobes.
Ball push, Grand Canyon, possession by
Definitely no shortage of big hits in this game so far today, and it doesn't look like the Eagles are shying away from it either, even though the Lopes have a huge size advantage, especially on the defensive end. Here's Morgan starting with it, drawing Hunter. Moves it up, and then going for the pick. And then Young running into Corbett there. And that was a good opportunity with the 5-on-4 kind of unsettled defensive situation to get in there and take a shot. Here's Clark. Nice move coming around the side, takes the shot. Not a whole lot on that one. Looked like he might have been trying to do too much. And it's just a 7-goal game here with 5:45 to go.
And a flag down. There's 2 flags down. And we're going to listen here to head ref Tim McGreary.
Yeah, I got 2. Yes, sir. Cross-check number 7/number 7, white.
Biola penalty, a 1-minute personal for a cross-check on number 7, Justin Harrington. Repeating the Biola penalty, a 1-minute personal for a cross-check on number 7, Justin Harrington.
And Justin Harrington with quite a few penalties here in this game. He had a 1:30 penalty in the first half, and looks like he's going to have another minute penalty here in the second half for a cross-check.
Second penalty to Biola player number 7, Justin Harrington, a 1-minute personal for a slash. Repeating the second penalty, a 1-minute personal for a slash. 2 minutes.
Harrington
releasable.
actually serving 2 minutes here. It is a releasable penalty, but not something you want to see on the Biola sideline.
There's Keeson. Moves down to Mountain, and Mountain shredding quarters, top cheese.
great movement out of the Grand Canyon man up. I mean, just move it on a wheel, find the backside, mountain wide open, and just buries it.
And I mean, just looking at the way some of the defensive moving, it looks like maybe Biola may have been broken with that last one.
Matt.
5:36 to go in the third. The lead's pushed to 8, 10-2.
Assist to the goal by number 8, Sackett Keeson. Repeating the Grand Canyon goal, scored with a man advantage by number 3, Matt Mountain, his second goal of the game.
Antelope's really taking control right now. No problem on the ground ball there for Christian Abbott.
And I talked to head coach Kyle Morrison from Cal State Fullerton before the game, just about the SLC D2 tournament in general, and he said that he thinks the tournament is going to be decided by the face-offs. Would you agree with that, Chris?
Absolutely. I mean, there are 3 players that are 3 positions that can make the difference for you. I mean, it's at the face-off,
Grand Canyon possession
the cage, and with the LSM, and any one of those 3 players can sway the game in your favor. But I think the face-off is probably the most important. I know we always talk about this matchup between Michigan and Santa Barbara from a couple years ago, where Santa Barbara got shut out because they couldn't win any face-offs. But I mean, that's proof in the pudding right there.
Yeah, and lacrosse is actually the only game where you're not guaranteed the ball. You know, if you have a face-off guy who wins every single time, you're not guaranteed the ball on the other end.
There are 4.5 minutes to go in the third. Grand Canyon getting their offensive unit onto the field, and a pretty small team from Grand Canyon. Pretty impressive what they've been able to do so far this season, but only about 25 guys. I mean, compared to even Biola, which has several more players, and to some of the sidelines we saw last night, with 50, 60 players from Chapman. And there's Barton again, and he's so surgical. He just finds the corners and puts it in. I mean, that's got to be 5 or 6 for him.
And you see the Concordia team and the Cal State Fullerton team here watching, and I think they got to keep their eyes on number 24. Whichever one of them pulls the matchup tomorrow, they got to be careful of Carson Barton tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, lucky for them, they have 2 of the top attackmen in Division II to practice with. So I mean, if you're taking reps against Cameron Ball or Josh Fagan,
scored by number 24.
Everyone else probably looks
like
they couldn't be any better.
They call that a
yeah, Josh Fagan of Concordia, somebody we'll see in the 4 o'clock game. I mean, he's a pretty sizey attackman, and not only does he have the size, but he's got the stick skills too.
Yeah, he's surprisingly quick. I mean, I think he's listed at about 5'8", 230, and he is a large kid. And he gets by kids. He's got a great stick, and his first 3 steps are I mean, very quick. There's Kingston.
So yeah, if you're watching right now, make sure to tune in for the 4 o'clock game. Just see who the winner of this game is going to play for the D2 championship game on Sunday. I think we saw the trophies when we first got here, and somebody's going to be holding one of those up tomorrow. So you'll have to stay tuned and see in that second semifinal game who comes out on top.
We have Murphy bringing the ball over. So the ball's going to go out of bounds there on a little bit of a miscue on the pass. 3:15 to go in the third, and Biola's going to get the ball back. Looking at a 9-goal deficit. So Gamelson's going to start with it, scoring one of the 2 goals that Biola has on the day, on a pretty spectacular goal inside from the crease. And here comes Lane across, and showing a little bit of the cutties there, able to get away and finally finds Clark, but not afraid to go in there and challenge some of the defenders. There's Morgan, Kingston, and Young drawing another penalty. I mean, there's been more penalties in this game than I've seen in a long time.
Absolutely.
And I mean, they've all been pretty good calls. And there's Young with a great stick, takes the shot. And there's Hunter coming in, Rich Hunter coming in and taking that one off the hip.
And let's listen in to head ref Tim McGrury here for the call.
All day long,
Black, number 5. Interference, 30 seconds.
And it looks like we got an interference call on Grand Canyon, 30 seconds. You know, we've seen a lot of interference calls.
Grand Canyon penalty.
And I think it's because,
technical for interference on number 5.
It might be because of the zone
Wilkerson.
defenses that we're seeing out here.
Repeating the Grand Canyon penalty.
Maybe just the style of play out here, but
on number 5.
Haven't seen this many interference calls in quite some time.
Absolutely. There's a shot. There's a fantastic goal from McMahon. Back into the game.
Yeah, it looks
off the injury.
It looks like he's doing all right.
Yeah. That's great to see. Getting them back on the board.
Biola goal! Scored by number 9, Jonathan McMahon. Assist in the goal by number 16, Scott Gammelson.
And there's Gammelson doing his alma mater.
Once again, the goal scored for Biola University with a man advantage
2 points.
by number 9, Jonathan McMahon.
And then Martori able to get the ground ball. And I mean, that's one thing that Grand Canyon's been able to do a good job on, is controlling the face-off. There's Barton inside, spinning and almost getting
Grand
that
Canyon
done.
holds possession following the shot.
You're just under 2 minutes to go in the third. 8-goal lead for the Lopes. Schubert moves to Mountain. And back to Martori.
Looks like they're going to take a run here.
You have to think that he's going to go and try and find Schubert here, cutting in.
Swim move from Martori.
Martori wants to do it all himself. So up here's Wagner. Wagner takes the rip, and a great save by Lane. And that one almost knocked back in by Harrington. Fortunate for the Eagles that that one stopped where it did.
You know, some really great motion there from ball movement from Grand Canyon, and able to get the shot off. But Sean Lane, excellent goalkeeping today.
And that's going to be a off-ball push, getting the ball back to the Lopes. Here with just under a minute to go in the third quarter, here's Mason. Has Schubert, and that's the look I think that they wanted to find off that Martori take on the last one, and Barton able to come up with GB.
Impressive ground ball there for Barton. Had no hesitation.
Here's Knudsen, and I mean that's one thing.
Well,
another
1 minute remaining in the third quarter of play.
That the Lopes have been doing well is their ground ball game. I mean, and that's one of the real big differences. Besides the size that you see from the NCAA level, is the ground ball ability. There's Mountain, takes the shot and shreds. 26 seconds to go. Put them right back on the board. Mountain.
A really impressive lefty goal there. High to low, something that we talked about before. Changing planes. Brings the stick up high and buries the rock low.
By number 3,
impressive play out of Matt Mountain today, and I think somebody who they're really going to utilize for the rest of this SLC tournament. That extends the lead here to 9, Grand Canyon 12, Biola 3, with 26 seconds left here in the third.
Goal scored by number 3, Matt Mountain, his third goal and a hat trick for the game.
And I know something that we saw yesterday in the Chapman game after the game was pretty much out of hand. We saw Coach Hartley bring a lot of the players that hadn't really seen much playing time this season onto the field. And you have to think that for the Lopes that are probably going to have to start getting in here. I mean, you really have to make sure that you utilize your depth so you can save your top players.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 quarters of play,
and after 3 quarters, it's going to be 12-3 in favor of the Lopes. So stay tuned. I'm Chris Marshall here on the Lacrosse Network for some great fourth quarter action. We'll be right back.
Oh, that looked good. There we go.
Hey, check us out now.
Oh.
Oh, what? That's a deep one. They're feeling it now. Oh, you just need to get in the rhythm.
This is Jack Sandler from Skidmore College.
Hi, this is Dave Campbell from Middlebury College.
This is Coach Ranigan from Trinity Lacrosse.
Coach Kyle Benton from St. Lawrence University.
Chris Malone at Arizona State.
This is Sean McGonigal.
This is Coach Mike Allen.
Dallas Hartley.
You're watching, and you're watching.
And you're watching the Lacrosse Network.
Boom.
That's right, folks. If you are the proud rental owner, that is a rental car, a white Chevy, I've got your keys, and you don't. So head on over to the announcer's booth and pick up your prize.
And back to the action here, just starting the fourth quarter. Ball down after the face-off. And Martori able to come up with the ground ball there.
Here we go.
And gets it right into Barton's stick. And I mean, Barton's going to need to be fresh for the game tomorrow. I mean, that's one of the advantages that the Division I teams have. They've got a day off in between the semis. And there's a little Canadian lefty from Barton. But they have a little extra day to recover. I mean, you look at the matchup in the D1 between Chapman and
Loose ball push, Grand Canyon, possession Biola.
Between Chapman and Arizona, and they had an opportunity to rest a lot of their players, where Arizona and Santa Barbara were in a little bit of a dogfight. And, you know, I think that'll be a huge advantage for Grand Canyon if they're able to rest some of their players, because I think this next one's going to be a real barn burner.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Chapman also has the liberty of going back up to Orange County and, you know, being able to stay in their own places, you know, all day today and practice on their home field. I mean, Arizona State comes out from Arizona. They got to stay out here in a hotel, but Chapman able to stay at home. So interesting how this SLC tournament works out.
Up to Morgan. Here with 13 and a half minutes to go. Cura is making his first appearance of the game. Gets to Moransky. And back down to Clark. There's Kingston looking across the crease, looking for Clark. Can't quite connect on the pass. This ball's still down. Laying some pretty serious lumber are the Lopes. And that's going to be a push in the back going against the Lopes
Loose ball push,
on
Grand Canyon.
Josh Nordstrom.
Possession Biola.
And please keep the questions, comments, anything you got coming. We'd love to hear your feedback on the broadcast. Anything you want to know about the teams, the matchups, the SLC, or anything about us personally, please feel free to fire away.
And if you were tuned in during the break there, I'm sure you were able to see Kyle Harrison over at LXM training day. He was catching behind his back and shooting. Just really impressive stuff. I mean, Kyle Harrison's obviously, you know, one of the best players in the game historically, and I'm excited to see him and Mikey Powell both play, and you can catch all the action live here on the Lacrosse Network.
There's Morgan with the one-handed shot. That's a fantastic goal. Round the corner, one-hand bounce shot. Sick.
That was unbelievable. One-handed. I mean, right when we're talking about you know, some amazing moves in the game, catching behind the back. I mean, that's an unbelievable one-handed goal from Morgan.
Oh, man, I'm fired up. That was a great goal.
Absolutely. Turning the corner, one-handed, and bouncing it in. I mean, this is kind of like what we saw last night in the Arizona-Chapman game. Actually, a very similar score right now, but although Arizona didn't score very much, every goal they scored was unbelievable.
There were some pretty impressive goals. I mean, and if you haven't seen that behind-the-back goal that Johnson scored from Arizona, definitely worth your time. I mean, just shredding. You can see that on our page.
And, yeah, tomorrow we got the championship games here from the SLC. Nice shot there from Barton. But tomorrow at noon Pacific time, we have the winner of this game versus the winner of Concordia and Fullerton. And at 2:30, Chapman takes on Arizona State for the SLC Division I championship.
And it looks like a little bit of extra fire for the Eagles coming out after that great goal. And it's good to see that there's no give up in these guys, down 8 goals. I mean, stranger things have happened.
And the winners of the SLC championships actually get an automatic qualifier to the national tournament, which is held in South Carolina this year.
Yeah, Greenville. It's going to be a really exciting year for both Division I and Division II. It's wide open.
So a lot on the line here this weekend. Nice save by Lane. Comes out of the cage. He's excited right now.
Flag is down.
Flag down here. And let's listen into head ref Tim McGreer here for the call.
Thanks, 1-9. Thanks, 1-9. Hey, 1-9. Black, 1-9/1 minute.
Looks like we got a slash on 19 from Grand Canyon. That's Wagner.
Grand Canyon penalty.
Biola's going to go up for 1 minute.
Number 19, Cody Wagner.
And we'll see what they can do. If they can put another one in here.
Canyon penalty. A 1 minute personal for a slash on number 19, Cody Wagner.
No, they'd absolutely love to make this a closer game. Here's Kingston. There's a big rip, and that one off the pipe. And a great ground ball by Young. But McMahon looking like he is completely fine. The big time rip there. And there's Morgan with the big hit. Trying to push him out of bounds. There with 10:30 to go. Moves the ball up. And there's a big rip there by Dustin Frazier.
Grand Canyon maintains possession following the shot.
Just like you were talking about, Grand Canyon starting to put in some of their players from off the bench and utilize a little bit of their depth to keep their stars rested for tomorrow's championship game.
Here, 10 minutes to go. So the Lopes are waiting to get their offensive unit.
Flag is down.
Looks like we got another flag down. There are a lot of penalties in this game. And
so it might be some sort of...
Let's listen in right now to the refs. The refs are going to have a conversation.
Give me 1 second. Is the black guy down on a slash?
Yeah, they should be. So
I black guy on a slash.
He just ran right in a minute. So I'm going to check on the time, see if he's released. Turnover. Yes.
It looks like the refs are sorting out. We're going to listen to Tim McGreer here for the call.
Okay. So it's going to be white ball. Hold on. What's your time left on him?
I told him I said it's 10:09 and I said 10:04, but he tried to send him early, but I was counting down while he checked him. So it was supposed to.
Did he leave early? Yes or no? Did he leave early? Okay.
Like what? 5 seconds left.
Right. So it's going to be white ball. He's good.
It looks like a miscommunication.
Yes or no? Did he leave early? He left early. How much did he leave early by? Excuse me? 5
From
seconds.
the box to the team.
Okay, 5 seconds. So he's in the box for 5 seconds. Let's go. 5 seconds.
How much
It's gonna be
time
white ball.
was left in the penalty? And looks like a change of possession because of that. I think that's just a little bit of a miscommunication there. He's going to be in the box for 5 more seconds, Wagner is, and Biola's going to get the ball.
And Kingston, that hurts. If you're Kingston, giving that up right there. And there's the look across. Can't quite find who he's looking for as Mountain. And Schubert able to come up with it. Takes a big check.
That hurts if you're Biola. I mean, you get a change of possession there. You get an opportunity with the ball and just can't come up with it there as Kingston.
You're 9:20 to go. Looks like they're just going to wait to get their offensive unit on, get back to full strength. Keeson Here's Schubert, and back over to Fraser.
And again, if you're just tuning in with us, this is the SLC Playoffs here live on the Lacrosse Network, and we got another semifinal game for Division II right after this.
That's
great
a great
save. Sean Lane has just, played outstanding.
Possession Grand Canyon following the shot.
Yeah, I mean, he's kept this game closer than it probably could have been. Back up to Mason. To Frazier. I mean, Frazier looks pretty comfortable in there, and there's Mountain. Another great save from Lane. I mean, that was a well-placed shot, off-stick low, and Lane, a big body, able to get down and get that one. Probably wants that one back.
There you go, John!
It's a big hit there by McMahon then. I mean, he looks ready to go. Back down to Schubert here with 8 minutes to go in the game.
Go, Josh!
There's a cross-crease pass. Can't quite find it.
Grand Canyon doing a great job on the ground balls all day. I mean, the ground ball battle, the face-off battles, those are the little things that matter in the playoffs.
And there's a great stick and a big check, and he's got to watch himself. He's already got about 5 penalties on the day.
Yeah, Harrington has been in the box for quite some time today. He's definitely got to be careful.
There's Frazier, not quite ready for that one. And a great ground ball, that's by Moransky. He's going right into the break. Comes inside, thinks about taking it to the cage, and then it's a solid lift there by Abbott.
Bounds possession, Grand Canyon.
Disrupting the pass there with 7:22 to go in the game. Still an 8-goal lead for the Lopes of Grand Canyon.
And as the 7 minutes left in this ball game, I think it's important for Biola, to get the ball on offense, have a nice long possession, run some of their systems, have some successful possessions, for their young guys and for their seniors, just to end on a high note for this game.
Yeah, and the ball's still down. Solid defense. Looks suspiciously like a push in the back there. Just coming inside, and Lane again with a big save. Going right back into the break.
Lane's getting comfortable coming out of the cage. I mean, I think he's been watching a little bit too much TLN. He saw Dylan Westfall come out.
And then finds Clark, and Clark is shredding the corner. Another spectacular goal. The assist from Lane finds Clark. Clark rips top cheese. Pushing the goal total to 5 for Biola. And that's another just spectacular goal.
Absolutely. And I mean, an assist from your goalie, that's really great. I think that was awesome. Sean Lane, clearly a leader on this team. And he gets it over to the other leader on the team, Jeff Clark, who just shreds the opposite corner.
Yeah. If it was up to me, that one would count for 2.
Once again, the goal scored for
good thing it's not
Biola by number 28.
You were making the rules.
Maybe today, Samir, maybe today. And with 6:22 to go, the Lopes still holding strong to a 7-goal lead at 12-5. But Biola isn't done yet. Here's Mountain moving the ball to Schubert. Looks like they're just trying to take a little bit of the air out of the ball here. Move back around, back over to Mountain. Here's Keeson. And back up to Martori. They're looking for that one of the Lane is everywhere right now.
Looks like he's going to be coming out again and looking for maybe to improve his stats a little bit here in the playoffs. I mean, that was a phenomenal play by Lane. I mean, even though, his team is down quite a bit, he's probably the player of the game. He's the one who's been outstanding. Him and Carson Barton have definitely impressed me all day.
And then Kingston able to come up with the ground ball there. Clark lost the ball to the stick here, just over 5 minutes to go. And Clark gets it back. And they've got to keep the ball in McMahon's stick. I mean, he's got the hot hand. And there's Clark. Clark again with the shot. Great save from Hunter. The ball's still down. Rich Hunter trying to pick it up. And finally picked up by McMahon. And Mahan takes another shot. And then a There's a goal from Kingston right there on the doorstep. Gets the rebound off of McMahon, just making stuff happen. And this game isn't over yet. I mean, there's still 5 minutes to go. They've scored 2 in the last 45 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can continue playing like this for the next 4 minutes, if their defense can step up and Sean Lane can continue making those kind of saves, this can be a real great ball game.
Repeating the goal scored for Biola University.
There's Holland able to win it to himself going into the break.
Kingston.
And with the swim, and almost gets through.
It's a big opportunity for Biola right now to pick up this ground ball and not able to. And do you think, Chris, that Grand Canyon has become a little complacent with the lead, or do you think Biola is just starting to really come into their own of this game and come in a little bit late with the talent that they do have?
I think it's a little bit of a combination. I mean, I think Grand Canyon is definitely a little slower, but this is the best that I've seen Biola play all game. So I mean, if they'd come out with this same level of play with no unforced errors and finding their cutters and getting quality shots off, I mean, this would be a much different story.
I mean, in the playoffs, anything can happen, and I think the most important thing is no matter where you are in the seeding, no matter what's happened in the regular season, you have to come out confident.
Possession Grand Canyon following
you can
the
come
shot.
out confident and score the first goal. I mean, anything can happen in the playoffs.
We need a goal here. Let's go. Come on now.
Looks like Schubert going to bring the ball in here with 4 minutes to go. And I mean, the Lopes definitely going to have to get a little momentum back to take into the championship if they win this game. I mean, they can't be coming in like that and then laying all over that one. That one off page.
Ladies
by
and gentlemen, your
Barnes.
attention, please be advised that for your safety and for the safety of our players, fans are not permitted on the field before, during, or following this game or any of
Coming around
today's
the corner,
games.
Lane still
We thank you for your
all over
cooperation.
the place. And then on a rope, can't find his man. There's Rich Hunter just running through. Looking inside, he's got a good stick. And there's Schubert looking for Hunter, and that one picked off by Harrington. And Harrington down, drawing the flag, going into the break. Looks like he wants this one himself. And then flips it to Kingston, and that is a poor play.
Yeah, I mean, they had a huge opportunity there with the flag down to be able to get a long possession, score a goal, and kind of a free possession there when you have a flag down, and they just not able to maintain possession with that flip.
Grand Canyon penalty. A 1-minute personal for a slash on number 32, Richard Hunter.
And with 3 minutes to go, Miles is going to go on the man up here, down 6 goals. But
number 32,
the closest they've been
Richard Hunter.
in quite some time. So definitely showing some signs of life here to end the game. I mean, that's what you like to see out of your older players. I mean, McMahon Senior and Clark Senior. Clark Jr. rather, but definitely getting great production out of their older players.
And that's not the shot you need in that man-up possession. I mean, you got to swing it around, let the ball do the work. And I'd say for Biola, one of the best.
Flag is down.
It looks like we got a flag down on this side of the field. I think that was a little bit of a late hit, and then a push in the back. And this game's getting a little chippy right now, but I think the player that's really impressed me on the offensive side of the ball is Matt Young. Let's listen in here for the call.
White, number 11, unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
Biola penalty.
And that's going to be on Kingston there, a 1 minute penalty for unnecessary roughness. So Grand Canyon's going to go man up, but Matt Young, is very impressive to me out of Bellevue, Washington.
On number 11, Adam
he's really got a rip, and he shows a bright future for the Biola Eagles.
Absolutely. And I mean, Clark will be back next year too. So I mean, they'll definitely be returning some talent. I mean, I think the biggest hole to fill will be in the goal.
Absolutely. Sean Lane, I mean, he's so impressive today.
And here with 2.5 minutes to go, looks like they're just going to pretty much just walk as much time off the clock as they possibly can.
And as Grand Canyon's doing this, just take the time to talk a little bit about the next matchup. about Concordia and Fullerton. I mean, two just powerhouses in D2, nationally and in the SLC. I can't wait to see them match up against each other at 4 o'clock. We'll have all the action here live on TLN right after this game, so make sure you stay tuned.
2 minutes remaining.
And with 2 minutes to go, they're going to have to keep it here in the box. And Fullerton coming off 3 consecutive SLC or league championships, so I mean, definitely want to retain their crown. And there's Martori with the big rip here.
Grand Canyon holds possession following the shot.
And right back into the offense. See if they can score a goal here. They've been held scoreless for 6 or 8 minutes here at the end of this fourth quarter. And that's not the way to do it. Screwed ground ball by On.
And with 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this game, make sure to stay tuned for live post-game interviews with the winning coach here to talk about the championship game and the rest of the SLC tournament. I know we had some great live interviews yesterday with Coach Malone from Arizona State and Coach Dallas Hartley from Chapman, both the coaches who will be facing off against each other in the D1 SLC championship game Sunday, live on TLN.
On outplaying tough defense, and back up to even strength. Here's Martori. Loses to Keesum.
1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter of play.
1 minute to go. Schubert's got it.
Let's go, Biola! Come on, D!
And look content just to run the rest of the time off the clock here with 45 seconds to go. Biola not aggressively looking for the double team. They appear to still be in the zone. Now finally doubling here as Lane gets out of the cage. 30 seconds to go. And Knudsen with the ball. And there's 23 seconds. The ball's down. Knudsen able to pick the ball back up. Finds Schubert. 19 seconds. And it looks like they're going to be able to hold this for the rest of the time here. It's up to Mason. And Mason near the top of the box the last 7 seconds. And able to stay in, walking the tightrope. There's Harrington throwing some pretty big checks, and that's going to do it here for the first of 2 semifinals. Where Grand Canyon comes away with the victory, 12-6, behind the strength of 6 goals.
Our final score this afternoon: the Locks of Grand Canyon University.
So I'm Chris Marshall with Samir Chaudhry. Definitely stay tuned for post-game interviews. We'll be right back.
Folks, from all of us at the Southwestern Lacrosse Conference, we thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Oh, that looked good. There we go. Oh. Oh, what? That's a deep one. They're feeling it now. Oh, you just need to get in the rhythm.
This is Jack Sandler from Skidmore College.
Hi, this is Dave Campbell from Middlebury College.
This is Coach Rannigan from Trinity Lacrosse.
Coach Kyle Benton from St. Lawrence University.
Chris Malone at Arizona State.
This is Sean McGonigal.
This is Coach Mike Allen.
Dallas Hartley.
You're watching,
And you're watching.
And you're watching the Lacrosse Network.
Boom.
What's up, Max Ritz here with Brett Baldwin, who's the creative director for Adrenaline Apparel. We're at the Adrenaline offices in San Diego. Here to talk about the hats that we'll release as part of our spring-summer collection. Brett, you want to dive in?
Yeah, first and foremost, the hat that I'm most excited about this season is definitely the Staycation hat. It's a new fit, new fabric, new hat for us. It's really lightweight, super fun for summer. You can even play in it if you want. Using a lightweight nylon. This is basically the gray colorway that's going to be in our mainstream adrenaline movement line, and then we have a pretty exciting addition that's going to be part of our confidential line. It's going to be a little bit more exclusive, a little bit harder to get your hands on. Max can tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, the Adrenaline Confidential program was built pretty much to reward some of our very best partners and retailers and such, and we do that by giving products like these they have access to, whereas some of the wholesale stuff does very, very well, and you pull out like a neon for a really great partner. So look for these in select retailers, look for these in all retailers. This will be a fun line. I mean, as you can see, a lot of these colors and a lot of these styles are pretty undeniable right now. I mean, this is our take on a classic look. It's snapback, it's made by great manufacturers, so the fit's all there, and we're just stoked to have a line of hats that's ready to roll, and personally with the Terp colors. So we're jacked up. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, that looked good. There we go.
Oh. Oh, what? That's a deep one.
Just feeling it now.
I told you, you need to get in the rhythm.
Yeah, I'm behind the film. Is it good?
All right, and welcome back. We just finished up the first of two semifinals matchup between Grand Canyon and Biola. Grand Canyon coming away with a 12-6 victory. I mean, you guys look really sharp to start the game. I mean, what were you talking to these kids about before you went out there?
Just the same thing we talk about always. Just get into our offense. Try to get the first few dodges executed, get the ball through X. Just trying to get into a flow.
Yeah, and I know that there's a large presence of players that played last season in the NCAA Division II. How have those players helped in the development of some of these new NCAA players?
Quite a bit. Actually, today there were only 4. We only had 4 returning players on the field today, but they played a huge part. They've been patient with our guys. It's been a process. It's been a really interesting, like 25-week process, especially when you consider that not only do we have 21 freshmen on the team, but we got really 21 guys that never played together before joined our seminar.
Yeah, and I know we're certainly excited to see who you're matching up against. I mean, do you have a preference between one of these two great teams?
Well, I know our guys would like to play Fullerton again. That was our one stumble this season. So I know the guys want to. I don't care. We're just all I'm worried about is getting on the field tomorrow, taking care of business, and getting the AQ to the national tournament.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on all your success in the first season of the MCLA, and good luck tomorrow. And thanks for everything. I'm Chris Marshall, and stay tuned for another game, and we'll be right back.